Howdy, once again, it's time for another charity race within this CSS event, this time for Texas. And the time of this race, it was 20 past 1 in the morning, so racing in the early hours in the morning here in my room and in the United States, in Texas, the Circuit of the Americas, COTA, in the Lone Star State, climbing the hill down towards turn 1, Big Red, as I think that's what it is called, as we completely missed the apex. Then on the exit of turn 1, a little bit of a snap, then we go flat through turn 2, using a bit of the battery then, down towards 83%. Then we go through the S section, through 3, 4, 5, and then turn 6, and as well turn 7, end of the first sector, 25.138 through turn 8, and then we go up through turn number 9, and then towards the little kink of turn number 10. Currently 15th in the order of this one-shot qualifying as we go through turn number 11, before the long back straight where the most favourite overtaker spot is, in towards the braking zone at turn 12. This format, if you didn't watch the last one, it is one-shot qualifying and then a 50% Grand Prix. As we make our way down in towards the heavy braking zone at turn number 12, cut the apex carefully, run a little bit wider than we would want to with the turn-in, up to 11th now, 9 tenths away from the fastest times, but that is Tony Hietala and Luca Rapace currently fighting for pole position. We go on the exit of turn number 15, then through the triple right apex of 16, and then turn 17 and turn 18, before we go to the penultimate corner at turn 19, sling the car in, up to 9th now, before we approach turn number 20, the final corner on the circuit, a little bit wider than we would have wanted. As we go to the line, we have a moment, but we still gain a place, and that's P8 on the grid for the United States Grand Prix, something which I'm over the moon with that. Very happy with 8th on the grid in this competitiveness, as you can see the results there, just behind FST Matt. As we go to the 5 red lights, you see we've selected mediums, but we're going to go for the hard tyre instead. We're going to go the alternate strategy, going hard to the mediums, but now we go to the 5 red lights. We're not going to be expecting to have decent pace here. 5 red lights are lit, 5 on, and it's 5 out, and we are foot to the floor. We are racing, and look at them, we have no grip off the line. Raza gets through, and then Zayas as well gets through as well. Then the Alpine of Raza goes around the outside. We got Kai on our inside. We get pinched on the curb, have a little bit of a moment. Then we hit Kai a little bit wider. Apologies for that as we go through turn number 2, then towards turn number 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. In the S section, wide goes the Sauber. We go right around the outside of the Sauber. Think of the move on the Alpine, but on this occasion, nothing doing there. The Kick Sauber dropped a couple more places. I think they actually may drop to the back there as we go up through turn 8 and turn number 9 before the slight kink of turn number 11. But it's a very decent first lap. You can just see Mateus as well. Now looking down the inside. Sorry, Raza looking on the inside of Mateus here. Under braking through turn number 12 in towards turn 13. Just want to try and see if we can pick up any scraps. But crucially, we need to stay within the DRS of these guys here, as on the inside goes Raza, on Alpine v Haas, medium v medium, as we get on the power. Side by side they ran, through goes Raza Gamer in the Alpine to get up into 8th place here, as we go through turn 18 towards turn number 19. But then on lap number 5 we go. We are slowly gaining time. Yellow flags out because Ted has spun the car here through the triple right apex. That's a free position for us up into 9th now, and we're making our way down in towards turn number 1 on lap number 7 here. We are going to dummy the move to the inside line. It does actually scare Mateus a bit, runs him a little bit deep, but on that occasion nothing doing whatsoever, and we do keep in 8th position. And now we go on to the next lap, heading on to lap number 8. This is the closest we've been, the best chance we have had this whole Grand Prix to try and start making the moves, which we have to. We have to make these hard tyres work, and now we're going to dive down on the inside on the Haas driver, but then the Haas gets a lovely old switcheroo, and we get on the power. We have a moment, and through goes the Haas driver up into 6th place once again. We're up into 7th because other drivers are boxed, but now later on in the lap, on lap number 8, here we make our way down towards turn number 15. Here we are going to dive it down on the inside, and there we go. There is a position made for ourselves. Finally an overtake made up into the top 6 in this Grand Prix. And then we skip on just a couple seconds later in the lap. You can see Raza Gamer is about to peel into pit lane for the Alpine crew. But I am going to now let out a clip play out, which the commentator said some pretty nice things about me.
Rio Harris on the hard tyres, our lobby host, a good guy. He's doing a fine job in this race so far. He's probably one of the only drivers I've not had to speak about so far. And that's a good thing. It means he's just quietly doing his thing.
Absolutely. He loves these events, and actually he's one of those drivers that has got quicker with time, and he's got a little bit mature in the way he drives. We've seen him in events in the past where, you might have gone for the occasional move that wasn't necessarily on, but actually as he's developed as a driver and done more and more league racing, he understands the dynamic just that little bit better. Of course, starting at the moment on the harder compounder tyre, actually, if we look at him, he is the leading hard tyre runner at the moment out of absolutely everybody that started on them. The likes of slightly further behind him.
Yeah, some very nice words said there from TK as we head into lap number 11. For the first time in this event, we lead the Grand Prix.
Absolutely right. Of course, we're expecting the hard tyre runners to come in probably around laps 16 to, 17, if my maths would be anywhere near correct, maybe a couple of laps before that. So if anyone thinks of causing a safety car right as Tony Hightower is about to overtake Rio Harris, I'm not suggesting you do that, but it would be really funny.
Unfortunately, no safety car happened, and Tony Hightower has caught right up to the rear of us as we head round the final corner, heading on to lap number 14 there. Approaching the halfway mark here, Tony Hightower, we're not even going to fight. It's going to use a little bit of battery so we can minimise the time lost, and then Tony Hightower moves into the lead of the United States Grand Prix. We're down into second place, and then we can see once again Luca Rapassa is right on our rear, and we're going to pull out to the inside here, not to defend this, just to wave him on by. We didn't want to fight in there. You can see we get the weave of approval from Luca. We give a little weave back just to say you're welcome, and Luca moves through into second. We down into third, but still, crucially, have got that just around 2-second gap behind to Kai as we head on to lap number 16, growing to 17. Kai dives into the box now. He's going to try and undercut us here. We have to have the in-lap of all in-laps in this United States Grand Prix to try and just make sure we don't lose too much time. So we're going to make our way through the triple right apex of 16, 17 and 18 then. We're going to do a decent stint on this tyre. 17 laps are done. So we're going to go through the final corner on towards lap 18. Make sure we don't speed as well. Just do a little lock up just to ensure we get the car stopped. And we will peel into pit lane. Making sure we turn in at the perfect moment to ensure that the stop is losing as minimal time as possible, that we have the quickest pit stop possible. 2.2 seconds is the quickest you can get, unless you double stack in this game where you can get a 1.8 second pit stop. So Kai goes through nonetheless, but in this we was allowed to cut the pit exit line, so I have cut the pit exit line so then I can get a perfect line through turn 1, and we are through. It's behind Kai, but crucially still within that DRS window, so we should be able to keep with him as we go on to lap 19. Look who we've got ahead of us. Mr. Will Gibson and Formula Car, the two Scarlet Ferraris, preparing to do battle. Will Gibson, by the way, has got 18 seconds worth of penalties here. He's got more track limit warnings than laps completed, I believe, in this Grand Prix. Look at them just dueling and dicing. Will goes for the old switcheroo, but hasn't got as much grip as Kai, as now as they make their way down in towards turn 13. Will Gibson in the Scarlet Ferrari make a move on their teammate, but also not their teammate. Will goes diving down the inside, spins Kai, and we say thank you very much. 2 positions. Just like that. And now we've just got complete clean air to go hunting after Matt and Razagamer as we head on to lap number 20 here. And into pit lane comes Phil. So we gain yet another place in this Grand Prix. Up into the top 6 now, and a top 4 definitely possible here as we go on to lap 24. And there we are, right with FST Matt and Razagamer as we make our way through turn 4 and turns 5 and then turn 6 before we make our way through turn 7 for the uphill section of turn 8 and turn number 9. We took so much more grip. We're able just to be able to close up so much consistently. Phil as well behind is closing up. They made the move on Kai, and they've actually dropped Kai now as we go through turn number 11 then, gaining on Matt. The question is, will we be able to make the move in towards turn 12? I think Matt has just got slightly higher top speed as we make our way down in towards turn number 12. Then Razagamer going defensive. Matt then going to go and look on the inside, but Matt doesn't go for the move. This allows us to close up a lot under braking. And then we make our way towards turn number 13, getting closer. But on this occasion, not close enough. But then turn 15 awaits for us, and we're going to have a look dive on the inside at turn number 15, making the move committed a lot earlier before the corners to indicate we're making the move, and we are through into the top 5 here, and then literally on the next lap in towards turn number 1, we are looking to make this move, dive down on the inside, and it's wheel to wheel with the Alpine. Little bit of tyre rubbing as we make our way towards turn 2, and we have to give up the position, and Raz is still in P4 as they head through the S section once again. Now down the back straight once again, we are gaining on Razza. Phil behind is gaining on Matt. So it's going to be 2 by 2 into turn 12. We dive on the inside, a little bit of wheel banging as we get turned in on. And then we make our way on the exit of the corner, and we are through into the top 4 then on lap 25 of 28. So very decent moves being made out here in Texas as we go through turn 15, just trying to pull away as much as we can. But now we're on the penultimate lap of this race. We're going to get 4th anyway because of the penalties that Phil has got, but none the wiser. We want to have some fun. We just want to race him as we go in towards turn 12. We go defensive to the inside. Phil looks around the outside, side by side. We'll go through turn number 12. On the exit, we got a little bit of rubbing between our front wing and their front tyre. Then we're going to look around the outside at turn 13, but Phil's got all that much more grip. And now we're going to look for a major dive on the inside at turn number 15. He hangs it around the outside as we apply the power. Through goes Phil and the Racing Bulls to keep 4th place on the circuit, and then has a major tank slapper. But on the final lap, look how much more pace Phil had. He capped us by 2 seconds in the course of a lap. We come around the final corner, and it's going to be set in stone in P4 for this Grand Prix. A lovely race for ourselves and matching our PB result of the Grand Prix. Taking 4th, Kai, after getting murdered by Will Gibson, will finish in 5th. Razza Gamer in 6th, Phil in 7th, Matt in 8th, and there's your race results then. And once again, if you did enjoy today, just the usuals, consider like, subscribing, and then for the next one, when will it be? I have no idea. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be next year, who knows. But for me, ciao adios, and for now, I'm done.